It's LeBron James. Because I love Tom Brady. Tom Brady is the greatest of all time. He's the greatest player. He's the greatest quarterback. But he plays a game that got to go offense, defense, special teams. He plays a game that if you watched last season, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers don't win the Super Bowl because of Tom Brady. Now, I know he could be the catalyst and he could be the base and he could be the foundation, and getting him makes you believe, and he does play well at a ton of spurts during last season. But he wasn't playing his best football in the playoffs. When he threw 3 interceptions against the Green Bay Packers, he wasn't the reason they won against the New Orleans Saints. It was the rest of the team. And guess what, Stephen A? The rest of the team ain't as good right now. They're actually, from what Bruce Arians says, dumb football players. Here's what I know about LeBron James. And Kendrick Perkins could back me up on this, I'm sure. Every team LeBron James is on and LeBron James is healthy, that team has a great chance of going to the finals. Period. If LeBron James is healthy and LeBron James is ready to roll, there is no player in basketball in the entire era that he's been playing that changes the fortune of basketball teams like he does. Whether it's defensively, whether it's floor general, whether it's scoring, whatever you need in those weeks of the playoffs, LeBron James has provided it over every player that's living right now, that's playing basketball actively. And so Tom Brady can change the fortunes of an NFL football team more than LeBron James can an NBA basketball team is crazy. Dude is one of the greatest players of all time. I think when it's over, we're going to have to admit it's the greatest career of all time. And for the way that you've been acting, Stephen Naismith, you must have forgot all that basketball you've watched to go against LeBron James like this, because he's been a better man than Aaron Rodgers ever was, who you talk about more than Tom Brady.
Ooh, he preaches. Stay right there, because I know you said I'll take care of Ryan right now. I'll take care of Ryan right now with his drivel. It don't matter to me what the hell he just said. I'm going to tell you why. I'm going to tell you why.
I ain't going to shut up and dribble, though.
I'm going to tell you why. I said drivel, not dribble. But here's the deal. Look up the word. That's number one. Here's the deal. If you want to answer the question about Brady or LeBron, okay, I give you that. I understand where you're coming from, okay? I'm not going there. Let me go back to where I was. LeBron ain't winning the championship. It's over. Because
the Warriors?
The Golden State Warriors are in the Western Conference. I didn't say that LeBron wasn't great. I would remind you I have him on my Mount Rushmore. I don't have Aaron Rodgers on my Mount Rushmore, even though he's a bad man. I understand the greatness of LeBron James and what he has done. Put Ryan Clark back up on that screen with Kendrick Perkins. Let me tell you something, Ryan Clark. Let me tell you something, Ryan Clark. I've lost 3 times with my predictions where I picked LeBron James to win the title. I picked him to beat Dallas. I picked him to beat the Spurs, okay? I did that, all right? Won one time with them, lost another time with them. What I'm saying to you is that it ain't like the man's got a flawless record. I'm not knocking him. I know the greatness of LeBron James. And by the way, I told Perk this yesterday. When LeBron was hurt and he comes back, I said, yo, at 36, approaching 37, in his 19th season, I expect this brother to be every bit as great as we expect him to be. I think it's a damn shame that the rest of the Lakers are relying on a man entering his 19th year to do what he does instead of stepping up and helping him more so he doesn't have to do those things. But none of that. I ain't throwing no shade. I'm getting ready to go to Boston tonight to watch the Lakers. Where do you... Now, both of y'all know me well. Love both of y'all like brothers. Where the hell do I want to be in June? Where do I want to be at? Do you have any idea how much it hurts me to believe that I'm going to be in the damn Bay Area in San Francisco instead of La La? You think I want to say this? You think I want to be in San Francisco? Kendrick Perkins, you know me. You see that smile on my face when I'm in L.A. Come on, bro. But Joe, we talking basketball. And when I see what I'm seeing with the Warriors, and they're younger than LeBron, and LeBron's got 2-3 years left max, I don't believe he's leaving L.A., so he's going to be a Laker. And I believe as long as he's out there with the Lakers, they ain't getting past Golden State. That's my position.
You know what, Stephen A.? I'm going to get at you in a minute. Sure. I got to get at my brother Ryan Clark for a second and stay on the topic, right? You like to break the rules. I'm going to follow the rules, which means I'm going to follow the topic. More likely to win this season, Brady or LeBron. And you know how I feel about LeBron James. And it's not LeBron James that I don't trust. It's the others. You just talked about it, Stephen A. But when we talk about Tom Brady and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, we talk about a team that just came off of winning the championship, Ryan Clark, and you, of all people, should know better, being a former champion yourself, that next season, you know that when you go and play in the regular season, you're going to get every team's best. So I know that Tampa Bay has lost a few games lately, but they're the champions. Sometimes you get bored with the process. Sometimes your coach has to come out publicly and wake you up and call you a dumb football team just to wake you up, just to send a message. Here's the thing. I know what I'm going to get out of Tom Brady supporting Cavs. Right now, I don't know what I'm going to get out of LeBron James supporting Cavs. I'm not talking about Anthony Davis, who he won a championship with. I'm talking about the play of Russell Westbrook right now. He's the X factor. So when I look at Tom Terrific and look at what he's doing, his leadership skills, I feel like when it matters the most and the time gets close, I feel like the Tampa Bay Buccaneers are going to elevate their game. And that's why I'm picking Brady to most likely win the championship over LeBron.
Thanks for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming sports and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.